سنتعرف مشاهدينا في اللقاء الذي أجرته الزميلة هالة بوعلوان مع رائدة الأعمال الفرنسية ميشيل شدوتال على مفهوم الكينيزيولوجيا. كما سنتعرف طبعا في هذا اللقاء عن الأسباب التي دفعتها لهذه الطبيبة لاختيار دبي كموقع لتأسيس شركتها. عبد الله.
صحيح ساندي، بالإضافة إلى كيفية استفادة الشركات والحكومات من فوائد الكينيزيولوجيا. الجدير بالذكر أن الكينيزيولوجيا ليست تخصصا طبيا أو نفسيا، بل هي دراسة علمية للحركة البشرية.
بيسعدنا أن يكون معنا اليوم مؤسس شركة كينيزيو كوتش السيدة ميشيل شاتودال. Good morning, Michelle. Great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you, Halla. Just a pleasure. It's so nice to see you.
Pleasure is mine. Michelle, before I came to the interview, I was testing around with friends what is kinesiology. I had different answers. Some people told me it's psychology. Some people told me it's DNA healing. Some people told me it's memory healing. Some people told me it's a mix between psychology and what the muscles remember and correction measures, but no one really understands what is kinesiology. What is kinesiology?
It's a good question. And it's a difficult one to answer because nobody knows about it. So it comes from originally from the word kinesis, which is in Greek means movement. And this is what I believe. I believe everything is in movement. The season, you know, even the cells of your body, your lymph, your blood, you know, the planets, you know, this. So everything is in movement. So unless we move, nothing really happens. So we need to move. And most of us nowadays don't move that much. So kinesiology is, we actually come from the professional kinesiology practice. Kinesiology is literally a communication tool that we use to upgrade and access the body systems. You know what I mean? So we look at the person as a whole, not just as a physical, but also what the emotional, the mental, and also the spiritual side of that person.
So mentioning attraction, how did you attract kinesiology to you? I know you're an entrepreneur and you were heavily involved in the hospitality industry and Dubai Golf.
Yeah. Oh God,
well,
yeah.
How did you become a kinesio coach?
You know, good questions, and it's an interesting questions because I think life is a journey, and I think whatever I've done in my life from a young age to where I am now, which I've been very privileged in my working life to meet amazing people, has led me where I am today. But I think really the trigger was when my mom passed away at 63. You know, of a major heart attack like this, you know, and so I searched. I said, what happened? You know, where is she? What's going on? So I got really attracted to energy, to these things that we don't see. You know what I mean? And I wanted to know more. So I started taking courses. Of course, whatever I do, I just go all the way to teach them and so forth. And one day I found myself, and that was really a hobby, because I was still very much involved at the time with Dubai Golf. I opened the Creek Golf Club and the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. I was the first person being hired at the time.
Impressive.
And you know, it's close to my heart. And but you know, it was a hobby. But one day I said, I'm going to go to this kinesiology a kind of conference in the US. I had no idea what it was, but I was attracted to it. There was no college in the Middle East at the time, so I had to fly to all different parts of the world to take my modules. It took me 7 years instead of 4 years to become a kinesiopractor, because you can do the whole thing. In Dubai, we actually look at only kinesiology so far, you know, which is accepted by the Knowledge Village. We're under KHBA.
And why did you decide to start from Dubai?
Because Dubai is home. I've been here for 38 years. You know, my daughter is here, my son was here, he's now living in Holland. And so it was home, and under the leadership of His Highness and the progressive country that is, and the gift of working with leaders like this, because I'm also a leadership coach and I do a lot of work in the government and also private sector. And then to look at how they view, I mean, where else in the world, you know what I mean? It's everything can happen here.
Michelle, mentioning governments and leadership, how what you do, whether leadership coaching or kinesio coaching, how does it help leaders, governments, individuals, better communities, societies, entrepreneurships?
I think it starts by you. Who you want to be and who you have become in your life. It's never what you do, it's what you are being that is important. You know what I mean? And I really emphasize on that. Anybody can learn anything, but who do you want to be in that being state? You know, we say we are human being, but really are we human doing? And in organization, and I think, you know, you can work on a one-to-one basis, but when you start working on the leadership level and that cascade down, you change an amazing amount of people's lives. In the context of kinesiology, answering your questions is, we take all the tools that we know, and then we have a great short courses on stress release made easy, or mastering stress release and codependencies, and all these 2 days. So we propose in organization as well as part of the health program. It's very strong. His Highness is very strong about wellness and health, and it's not just physical. You know, it's not just going on the running machine. It's about how do you think, what you say, you know, what you actually experience and how you feel. And more than anything, what you decide to feel. You know what I mean? Everything starts with an intention.
Yeah.
So we work very closely with the clients, and we bring some strong awareness. So I don't like to think I'm a kinesiologist or a coach. I think, you know, my job, my given job is to actually help people raise the consciousness so they can have a better human experience. You know what I mean?
Actually, mentioning that, if we want to conclude with some tips for our viewers to have like better start of every day, what is your best tip you want to give them?
So I look at my hand and I say, we have 5 fingers. I say, why did God created 5 fingers? Why not 6? Why not 2? Why not 4? And I realized that it was an important part of our physiology, because I believe our brain cannot deal more than 5 things at a time. Otherwise it shuts. And we are multitasking, and we tend to do too much more, so we goes into our adrenal stress and not in our normal kind of way of looking at life. So I look at it and I say, okay, what is the meaning of that? How can we do that? So here we are. So let's start by the thumb. So thumbs up, really put an intention. Where intention flows, there's a tension. Where intention flows, there's circulation. And we want that energy to circulate so you expand in your life. Let's look at the second one. We tend to do this to people. We tend to judge, and in organization is so strong. We tend to judge our families, our friends, or whatever. So what my tip is, change this to this. Mirror, mirror in the wall. Whatever you see in others belong to you. This person is showing you a part of you that needs to upgrade. And also, you know, really decide that the antidote of judgment is curiosity. So be more curious, you know, stop, think, look at that person, listen more. Actually, when you look at the word listening, which we teach a lot in coaching or whatever, when you shuffle that word, you know, it's called silence, with the same letters. So can we actually be sometime in silence? When you look at the third one, looking at silence, you know, maybe, you know, stop, meditate. Meditate on your intention. Meditate on what you want, what you truly want. Dare to have some dreams. Take the time to be with you, what we call now more
Me time?
Yeah, me time, also mindfulness. You know what I mean? It has become very fashionable. And also, we know, what is it that I don't see? Because we don't always see with our eyes. There's so much things that we don't see, and that's what we do in kinesiology. We look at what we don't see and we connect to this. Right? The third, this one, the ring finger is really the commitment finger. So what do you want to commit to? For you, for your life, where do you want to go? You know, most people are afraid of commitments. A big C, I don't want to go there, you know what I mean? And I'd rather run or whatever, so we don't commit to our purpose, to our lives, to our commitment, to our goals, to our promises in our organizations, and also sometimes to our values. And the little one, I love it because, you know, when I look on the kinesiology side of it, it's here around the heart meridian and here around the small intestine meridian. So what is this? What is this telling us? You know, what are the tiny little things in life which brings you joy and love? You know what I mean? What do you need to connect to your heart? Small intestine, the small intestine is an organ you say yes and no. You say, I'll keep this food, I send it to my blood, I don't want this, I'm sending it to my large intestine. What do you need to say yes to and no to, and connect to your true self? and decide who you want to be in your life. And when you put these two hands together, you know, whatever, what are the 5 values you want to focus on? And what are the 5 little things you're going to do every day consistently and intentionally? And let that prayer of your life be answered. And I believe we are literally master of our lives.
Yes,
you know.
Absolutely wonderful. What a wonderful tip. Michelle Chadotal, thank you so much for being with us today.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
It's always lovely to see you, Halla.
Same here.
Yeah.
Thank you.